Really tune into your whole body. Notice your whole body from head to toes. And if you're noticing the sensations or the energy of resistance or being stuck or holding on to something, as you breathe out, see if you could let that soften. Just let it go a little bit. One thing we know for sure about tightness is that it never helps any situation at all. It's an automatic response to something that scares us or that we're frustrated about or that we don't want to be the way it is. And so, doing a relaxation practice can help us to come really presently into the body and the breath. Let that soften for a bit. Notice the back of your head, the back of your neck and shoulders, the back of your arms and hands, the upper and the mid back, those large muscles that cover the rib cage, around the shoulder blades. And as you're breathing out, see if you could let any tightness or tension release out of that area. And continue down through the mid and lower back, through the back of the legs, from your hips through your thighs, your calves, down into your heels and your feet. And no matter what's going on right now in our life, we've chosen to take this time to soften and relax. And notice the front of your body, your forehead and eyebrows. Often, if we're tightening up against something or worrying about something, we have a lot of tension in the face. Could be through the forehead and eyebrows, maybe through the jaw, mouth. So soften the forehead, the eyebrows. See if you can keep your attention really focused on the relaxation for a few more minutes. Notice the deep muscles of your eyes, the corners of your eyes, your eyelids. There's that sensation of air as it moves in the nostrils down into the throat. And we know it's going down into the lungs, even though we can't feel it. There's no sensation of that in the lungs. Notice the corners of your mouth, your teeth, your jaw. If you're clenching your teeth at all, even in a subtle way, see if you could move your lower jaw around a little bit. Bring some softness into that. And one way to do that is to keep a bit of space so that your upper jaw and lower jaw are a little bit farther apart. Your teeth aren't touching. And then, even if there's a bit of tension in the hinges of the jaw, you're not going to be damaging your teeth. Notice your throat from your chin to your collarbone. over to the sides of the shoulders, the front of the shoulders, and then down through the chest, all of those large muscles that cover the rib cage. Notice now as you're breathing that there's movement. Notice where the movement is, what the rhythm is. Soften through your stomach and belly. So there's no resistance to that full, smooth flow of breath. The thing we know about resistance is that it shows up in our whole body. Might be more predominant in one area, like we might really be thinking a lot, there might be a lot of thoughts. But any kind of negative thoughts or resistant kind of thoughts are going to always show up in our body as energy as well, usually as tightness. Very often they show up as a constricted, tight breathing pattern. We're holding our breath, maybe. As you're softening through your stomach area, let your breath become more easy, smooth, softer. And notice the arms and the legs as well. Is there any kind of agitation or wanting to move or any forward motion, any impulse to that in your arms and legs? And if there is, bring your attention again to the back of them. See if you could let that settle and soften. And bring your attention back to your whole entire body, head to toes. Notice the physicalness of your body, the sense perceptions, and notice the energy in your body. Kind of coming to that time now when we're going to look more directly at resistance. So thoughts about that might be coming in. The energy of that might be coming up in your body. Notice that again. Scan your whole body. As you breathe out, let it soften. And notice if there's any frustration or judgment about what's happening right now in your system. Resistance is natural. Tightening our body is natural. Our breath is affected. A lot of it doesn't have anything to do with our adult brain. A lot of it is driven by the survival systems and by our past experience. And one of the first things we can let go of is wanting our experience to be different than it is. So, wanting to not be resistant, for instance, being frustrated that our body's tight or that it hurts or there's compulsive thinking. Let's take a moment with that. To whatever degree you feel resistant or that you feel like you shouldn't feel resistant. And if that's not coming up for you at all, then just soften into your breath, relax through your body. I shouldn't feel this way. I should be over this by now is something that's common as well. And notice what it feels like. How do you know that you shouldn't? What's that coming up? Is it thoughts? Is it some kind of tightness in your body? And we kind of experiment with it. We might notice the reaction if we say, I'm okay with what's happening right now. I can tolerate this. Maybe I can welcome it. Maybe I can accept it. Where am I right now on that continuum? So, not the thing that we're resistant to, but the thing, but the experience of resisting. See if you could allow yourself that freedom to have the response that you're having. So often we turn against ourselves. We have some kind of a response to something, and then we judge ourselves for the response. So if we could take that layer and set it aside for now, allow ourselves to have the response that we're having, then maybe we could have a bit more space to look at what it is we're resisting. So if you want, you could bring that forward. What is it in your life, your relationships, your health? What is it right now that you're resisting? Let that come up and really have a look. Is it a person, situation? Notice the energy in your body as you're starting to look at that. Where is it? What does it feel like? And stay very grounded in your body through your breath and through your attention. We'll look at thoughts in a moment. We'll look at thoughts, but just for right now, could you stay present with the energy of this in your body as you're thinking about what it is that you're resisting? What it is that you really need to be different? Notice the thoughts that come up about that. We'll work with them. So even as you're noticing the thoughts, so most of your attention, what's going on energetically around this? What does it feel like in your body? And just like we release tension when we do any relaxation, just like our body settles when we breathe more smoothly or deeply, see if you could just do that part for now. Just relax the tension, let your breath be deeper. We're aware that right now or in this moment, we're noticing what's going on in our body. And then let's look at the thoughts. If it's an image, can you put it in a frame? If it's a person's face or a few people, or if you're in the image too, is it a test result? Is it whatever it is? Can you put it into an image and look at it like an image? If it's a video clip, you might see it as though it's playing on your phone or your iPad or something. Look at the colors, the shapes, who's in the image or what's in the image. You can do this with your eyes open, your eyes closed. Or maybe it's mostly sounds, it's words. You could also put those in a frame and look at the letters, look at the shapes of the letters, the spaces in and around the letters. Look at the amount of urgency there is. Some things we resist kind of lightheartedly. We're not committed to it in the same way that we are that we might resist something that really scares us or that has a lot of power. We'd prefer that it's different. And some things we feel like we really need them to be different. Our safety is at stake. Something really important is at stake. So notice the level of intensity as you're looking at the images. And part of that is to look at the intensity in the body as we're looking at the image. And do tapping with the frame, look at it over on the wall across from you and trace the space on the outside of it. And it might be helpful to continue that after we're finished as well. I'm resisting this thing. And then see what are the thoughts that come up. Staying connected with your body and your breath as you're doing that. So, for a few minutes, let's go back and forth between that, between the thoughts, words, and images. Really have a good look at them. Hear the sounds. This is something that's difficult, and we want to know more. Why is it difficult? What's going on in the background around this? Notice the energy in the body and keep relaxing your body. See if you can keep your breath smooth. We're always staying present in our body in this moment, even as we're looking at this. Sometimes it's helpful to ask, what does this reflect about me? If I'm being judged by somebody else, what does that trigger in me? Is there a core deficiency belief that it's landing on? If that's the case, we could work with that. Do I feel shame? We could work with that. Just looking at what are the elements here, what's going on in a more detailed way. Stay really steady and connected with your breath, with your whole body. And notice again if you're resisting your response, if you're resisting the resistance. And if you are, see if you could allow that to be here too. It's very natural. Nothing wrong with us, or we're not doing something wrong when we resist this. And then we can notice and allow ourselves to have that experience. And let go of the whole practice. you want to continue on, we'll finish in silence in a moment. But just for now, to notice again your whole body from head to toes. And take a moment to remember what was going on as we first started, what was coming up when I said we were going to do this practice around releasing resistance. What are the changes that have happened in your body as you've been doing the practice? It would be very likely that there was periods of deeper relaxation and periods of tightness. It might have been going up and down quite a bit. And what is it that feels sticky? What did you observe? What thoughts came up that might be useful for you to know about this situation that you want to be different? And then take a few deep breaths. Notice your whole body again. Let go of the practice.